What's up, folks? Today we're going to talk about how to count calories. It's pretty simple, or I'm going to make it simple for you. My first and biggest tip to anyone who's counting calories, unless you're an elite athlete or someone with really big goals, you're trying to get sub 5, sub 10%. Really, I think you can get sub 10% the way that I do it, because I get sub 10% and I get sub 5% doing it the way that I do it. But, yeah, getting into it, stop trying to be perfect. It's don't have to be perfect with it. What do I mean by you don't have to be perfect? It's don't make it a super difficult, sciencey, mathematical. We gotta weigh this. We gotta weigh that. We gotta do this. We gotta do. It's really not like that. It's really as simple as it's as simple as looking at the food labels, counting it. That every one of them say, well, yes, food labels lie. So you gotta be a little bit smarter than what the food companies think you are, but you are. Certain things, yes, you have to weigh, but if you measure it out, in my opinion, I've bought a scale and then I never ended up using it ever. I just started measuring out everything that I use. Google, how much does a half a cup of rice cost in calories? Because you got to think of it like money. You only got, if I'm cutting weight, I only got 2,000 calories for the first month. If I got that long a time. If I don't, then I may only have 1,500 calories that week or that day. So measure out everything that you eat, everything that you ingest, everything you put in your body. Measure it out. You don't have to weigh it. If weighing it is simpler for you, I don't find it simpler. I find being able to put it in a measuring cup, okay. Now when you Google stuff, you got to be a little bit, just make it easy for you. Because if you Google how much a banana, how many calories a banana is, they'll say 75 to 100, 110, 120, depending on what you look at. So it ranges. So what is my favorite tip to it? Because we're not using a perfect science, perfect math, I either round up or I make it a perfect number. What's a perfect number? Something that's easy to add in. I'm not going to use 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s. If some diet sodas or energy drinks say it's 5 calories, well, I'm not counting 5 calories. It's not going to make that big of a difference in my diet. 5 calories is not. Even when I'm cutting weight, 5 calories does not really change too much of anything. So you don't have to be perfect whatsoever, at all, really. Yeah, you wanna make sure you're counting everything that you put in your body. If you are making a meal, yes, you do need to count the egg. You need to count the butter. You need to count you shouldn't be using whole eggs or butter, but you do need to count everything else that you're putting into it, cheeses, meats. You do need to be counting those things, measuring them out, and making sure that you're writing it down as you go, or putting it into a calorie counter as you're going along. But other than that, it's as simple as making sure it's an easy number that you can keep up with, that every time, for me, I always go with 100 calories. If I'm eating a banana, like I just said, the banana, that's 75 to 120, 130 calories, depending on what you look up. I say it's 100. It makes it easier. I know if I eat a banana, I'm giving away $100 or 100 calories, whatever you want to count it as. I think of it as money because, well, as a kid, to count, you thought of it as money. I try to keep it as simple as third grade math. Literally keep it third grade math. If you can keep it third grade math, it'll be simpler. You'll be able to stick to it longer. You won't be like, oh, this gets so tiring having to count everything that I do. It's really not that hard. I do it all the time. When you know what I do, what did I eat today? But I have also been counting calories since I was in 9th grade in high school, because I was a wrestler and I had to cut weight, gain weight, cut weight, maintain weight, lose weight, gain weight, all the crazy things that wrestlers do. And still to this day, I'm cutting weight. and gaining weight and maintaining weight and whatever else that I have to do. So I have to make sure my weight's all over the place. I have to manage my weight and do it in a healthy way. And the healthiest way to do it is knowing what calories, what foods, and everything you're putting in your body. And that's just the way that I've always done it. Also, yeah, it just makes it so simple, y'all. There's really nothing else to say. Just keep it simple. Keep it third grade math. If you can keep it third grade math, you'll be able to keep up with it forever. Food labels, yeah, they lie. They'll say 5 pieces is so on many calories. Okay. Say that 5 pieces is so on many calories. I don't really care. It's such a minimal difference that it really doesn't matter to me. And that's what people, when they say food labels lie, I don't care. I know how to read a food label. Sometimes they do trick you. They'll say something is like, the healthy foods do this most often. They will say that something is so odd many calories, but really, it's when you get down to how much you would actually eat of it. So you would end up eating a whole lot more than if you were just going to get the regular thing. So, and that's just me. There's a lot of those healthy options that if you were to just go buy the regular thing, that I would eat less of it anyways, which would end up amounting to I'm not going to eat as many calories of it because I'm satisfied with what I just ate. But that's me. If that's not you, then stay away from those things and probably just cut them out of your diet completely. If it is a food, like for me, I will eat cereals every now and then, but I try to keep them out of my house. I keep them out of it. Why? Because I'm not going to, when I sit down to eat cereal, I don't eat just one bowl. I eat a whole entire box of it. I'll just keep pouring me a bowl, pouring me some milk, watching YouTube videos, pouring me milk, eating me cereal. So that's one of my gorges. I buy tubs of ice cream. Don't buy them anymore. Why? Because I'm not gonna just eat a scoop of it. I'm gonna eat the whole half gallon of it, and I mean half gallon. I'm gonna eat the whole half gallon. So I just indulged in like 5,000 calories right there. Chips, I try to keep them away. If I'm gonna eat chips, I'll get little bags of them. Like this right here. If I absolutely want chips, I'll get a single serving size of it, because then I know this is my portion. I'm not going to eat any more of this. I'm only limiting myself to one bag. But I am more disciplined than the average human. I know I am. So I'm not going to say that's what you should do, but that's what I do to keep it easier for me. If I want ice creams, I either have to go out to get it, or I buy little healthy fudge pops, or I go and buy single serving ice cream sandwiches, or something that I enjoy but it's single serving. So I'm not going to have to go and get more of it. I'm not going to have to get up and go to the fridge, because honestly, I'm just as lazy as you and me. It's the next guy. I don't want to get up and go do stuff. So if I keep it away from me, I will have to get up, go get it, and then come back and then enjoy it. So I go do that one time. I don't go grab 3 of them. I grab 1, and then I come back, and if I feel like I really want another, I'll get my lazy butt up and I may go get another. But usually, very rare. Very, very, very rare. But that's also someone who is very, 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 very disciplined. I do work out all the time. So yeah, but getting up, moving, that's a lot of energy. I also have to, unlike the average bodybuilder or the average CrossFit, whatever you call it, I'm an MMA fighter with a good physique. Have you ever seen most MMA fighters? Have you ever seen most jiu-jitsu artists? Have you ever seen most, really any of the combat sports athletes are usually out of shape, and they look like they're out of shape. They're not out of shape. I promise you. Please don't go and tell them they're out of shape. They'll probably beat your ass. But they don't look like they have the best physiques all the time. So Why is because a lot of them skip their strength training, a lot of them skip their conditioning, but they're really good at what they do, so they're able to reserve their use as little bit of energy as possible during the events that they are a part of. There's a lot of wrestlers who I've seen when going on through wrestling who I'm like, why aren't they like us? Why, coach? Why didn't all their team freaking shredded? A lot of people do not do their cardio, don't do their conditioning. They literally just focus on technique. While technique's great, you got to focus on everything. So I have to do my grappling, stand up. Those are just two things, but they span over a lot of stuff. I have to do my cardio and conditioning, my strength training, my resistance training, whatever you want to call it. So it ends up being a very long, tedious, long day. A lot of days of overtraining. So I'm tired. That's my way of, one, rewarding myself. Hey, you made it through your training day. You can have this. But also, well, you're only going to grab one. And if you have the energy to get your butt back up to get up there, you get another. But most of the time I don't have energy, and it makes sense why I don't. So if you were wanting to learn to count calories, just keep it super, super, super simple. Like I said, make it easier than the last time to lose weight for yourself. But put stuff out of your way, out of your sight. Get single serving items. That's one of my favorite things. And then read your food labels, weigh stuff. Don't weigh stuff. You don't have to weigh it unless it's something you enjoy doing. Measure whatever you got to do to track how much of it you are ingesting. Use Google as much as you can, and then make it a pretty number. And use third grade math. It's just multiplying. It's just adding and subtracting, dividing. It's really, I don't even think you have to divide. I very rarely do I actually use division in my calorie counting. So unless I've made a meal that I know that whole entire pot is worth something, then I do have to actually weigh. That's the one time I've actually used that thing. The one time. So yeah, just keep it third grade math. Remember KISS? Keep it super stupid, super simple, super stupid. I think you're supposed to say super stupid. So if you want to count calories, that's how you do it. If you're not following me on Twitch, not following me on Instagram, not following me on TikTok, you need to get over there. That's where you'll find out about all my fight information, my jiu-jitsu information. All of that is on my Instagram. And then, of course, pictures of my life are on the Instagram if you want to know what I do. TikTok. I post twice a day, just as I do on YouTube, but sometimes I post just exclusive things of what I've done that day that I don't post on YouTube. And then, of course, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And then my Twitch, I just get on there, I play some games. If you ask some fitness tips, I'll answer them. That's where you can really get your Q&As, I guess you could call it. Because I will never, ever, ever do a Q&A, because that sounds like a waste of time, and I value my time. So with that being said, I hope that y'all enjoyed, and like, comment, all that stuff. Catch you next time.